I'm so excited she's in the green room now. Laurie Wondra is here of YourLifeCore. She's a shaman and intuitive. We'll take calls and texts for the rest of the hour.
Welcome to Play It, a new podcast network featuring radio and TV personalities talking business, sports, tech, entertainment, and more. Play it at play.it.
Roshini Rajkumar back with you. We are just having a great time tonight. Thanks for spending part of your time with me here on WCCO Radio. And I, of course, hope you listen to me during my regular show. I'm in for Jordana tonight, but News and Views with Roshini Rajkumar, Sundays from 12 to 3. We've got some great stuff coming up this Sunday, which I'll tell you about later in the show. And my next guest is actually a regular contributor on my show, but I love to have her on anytime I'm covering for Jordana and the seasons are changing, because she has great advice about these seasonal things. And she is intuitive and shaman Laurie Wondra. Hi there, Laurie.
Hi, Roshina. Good night. Good evening.
It's great to have you in studio.
Thank you. Hey, I was listening to your last couple of guests about just where we are. Your last food experts were talking about summer and grilling and the food that we want. And I want to just touch on that because we're in the season of all light. We've got the summer solstice coming up here on June 21st. So we're nearing that point where we've got the longest days. And we're craving vitamin D. We're craving light. There's a lot of energy that comes in from the sun. That comes into our plants first. So that's why we're wanting to have fruits and vegetables.
And the herbs
and
even.
And the herbs. And, you know, the protein things, they get the vitamin D or that sunlight later. So they're kind of a little bit later in the food chain. But that's a great reason why, you know, pack in the vegetables, the fruits and vegetables this summer to get the vitamin D, the sunlight into our bodies.
And we are craving like watermelon and things like this that just not only are they tasty, they are good for us.
They are good for us. And our bodies, we need more light now. It's just, it's part of this energy transformation that we're in right now. And we're kind of ramping up for the summer solstice and absorbing extra light. So any way that we can get it is good for our bodies.
I'm talking with Laurie Wondra, and you can too. The phone and text lines are open. The text line is 81807. The phone line's 866-989-9226 or 651-989-9226. We're going to cover work life, love life, relationships with family, all of these things, and what this turning of the seasons mean for you. And getting that advice, free advice here, right here from Laurie is open to you. First, Laurie, I want to get into energetically, what does June and now 2 weeks away from the summer equinox mean? The summer solstice.
Well, the summer solstice. Well, June, we just closed out May, and between January and May, we're kind of finishing up a lot of the last year, 2016 things. So now 2017, we're kicking into high gear, and that's what people are feeling with June. So we've got a full moon coming up this week, and after that full moon moves through, it's kind of crazy energies this week. We've noticed it here with traffic in the cities.
Oh,
it's kind of been
right.
really congestive. A lot of accidents. I want to suggest to people that you really pay attention because we're feeling the intensities of the energies right now, and it kind of makes us zone out. People aren't sleeping real well, so you may be tired or not paying attention. So just be safe on the road out
So
there.
there's is it just sort of a recalibration that's going on?
Yeah, it's higher frequencies. It's a higher vibration, and so it can be a disruption to our energy patterns. And we feel it in our sleep patterns. We feel it in our electronics. We can feel it just in how we generally feel. We might feel fuzzy. We might feel crabby. I know there a lot of my clients have been edgy or kind of crabby this last week. So we're preparing just for another upshift of energy that's coming in a couple of weeks to get us going, to get us moving in life.
Well, that definitely times out with the summer solstice then in a couple weeks.
Absolutely.
What is that going to look like? Let's start with family life.
So family life, if you've been noticing some relationship snafus, and this could be personal relationships or family members or friends. If you've been noticing some things come to a head in your family, they'll ease up. They're either going to mend, they're going to come back together or they're going to split apart. It's just kind of where we are in that energy.
And there
right
will
now.
just be a decision. It won't be haggling anymore
Yeah,
or just hanging out there.
We're getting to that point of just stop hanging in the kind of the middle zone and just get on with life. So it's going to come one way or another.
So you are a shaman and intuitive. For people who don't really know what that means, describe that to us.
So a shaman is another way to say I have the ability to walk between worlds. I have the ability to connect with loved ones, angels, guides, light beings, other energy forms, animals that have crossed over, and I walk between worlds. So I'm able to live and function in this universe, in this world, but also connect with other energies that a lot of people can't see or sense or feel. And I use my intuition to tap into other people's energy or other people's space, you might say, just to kind of gauge where they are in their lives and help direct or guide that.
So with this gift of yours, are you just constantly walking around and you're feeling all this stuff? I mean, is it exhausting?
No, it's not. I don't like using the word shielding because I leave my energy field open. It's all from a heart place. But shielding puts us in a place of fear. And so I just push out light, but I also have boundaries. I'm in corporate stuff during the day, or sometimes,
That's your background.
It's my background. And, I go shopping at local grocery stores just like everybody else, and I can't be bombarded with the energy. So I do have boundaries and shielding, but I do focus when I'm working with clients, or I do focus. That's when I tap into that, my intuitive spirit or the shaman part of my life.
So you can kind of turn it more on at times when someone really needs it from you.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's really helpful. I'm talking with Laurie Wondra. She is a shaman and an intuitive. If you have any questions for her about your loved ones who have maybe passed on, you're wondering how are they, or maybe the death happened and it was you had unfinished business, have some questions there. Give us a call, 651-989-9226 or 866-989-9226, or feel free to text us, 81807. So I have to ask you, because every once in a while I get sucked into this, and I can't remember if it's on Bravo or E. I think it's on E. And it's this young guy. I think his name is Tyler. He's a young guy. He's like a Hollywood medium. That's what they're calling the show. I don't know if you've heard about it, seen it. Okay. But it's different from what we talk about here, but he has what seems like this shaman gift, because there will be, and of course they have varying levels of celebrities, some you've heard of, some you haven't heard of, that will be on there. What are you feeling and sensing when someone says to you, for instance, my mother-in-law, I wasn't married at the time, but would have been my mother-in-law. She died a couple summers ago, final stages of Alzheimer's. What if my husband or one of his siblings came to you and said, how is mom? I mean, would you be able to tell them something?
Yeah, that's where I tap into their energy. And when I work, I call myself a clear channel, which means that I open myself up to energies, loved ones, guides, angels that come through for the client. And oftentimes after I'm done with the session, I don't remember what came through. I don't recall because the messages come through for the person that I'm working with. And sometimes if you have a loved one that's passed recently, then another loved one will also step forward to lend voice or lend energy to contribute so that the messages can come through. I say it's kind of like tuning a radio dial just to the frequency so that I can understand it, so that it's not static. It's a clear message to me.
It's really a fun fact. I don't know if you knew this, but you kind of call yourself like this clear channel. WCCO Radio is one of the original clear channels. I think there are maybe 6 of them in the country. That the reach is so broad, but the signal, at especially certain times of the day and night, can be heard anywhere almost.
That's amazing.
That's amazing that you have that in common with WCCO Radio. So it's appropriate that we found you here and you come on our station. So I'm talking to Laurie Wondra. You can too, always full of so much information. And we are getting some calls and texts coming in, 651-989-9226. Or you can text us, 81807, as well as our other phone line, 866-989-9226. But first, we're going to take a real quick break, and then we will just go to the calls and the text with Laurie when we return. The Maplewood Toyota time is 10:50 on the dot. When you need a new car or truck, it's time to check out MaplewoodToyota.com first. We are talking with shaman and intuitive Laurie Wondra. Her business, YourLifeCore. Write that down, folks, because we've got a lot of calls and texts. If you don't get a chance to talk with her tonight, go to YourLifeCore.com and you can connect with her directly. First, we'll go to Julie in Chaska. Hi there, Julie.
Hi.
Hi, Julie.
What's your question or comment?
My question is, I've had some trouble with my significant other very recently, and we are still living in the same home, but my plan is to break away and to move back to Illinois with my son at the end of August. Is that the right move? And what job should I pursue when I'm down there? My dad is still living. Mom is gone.
So Julie, I feel right away that the break is a healthy one. You've been thinking about this for quite some time.
Indeed.
The energy has been pulling from you, and I feel that you're low energy, and it's a cause of the relationship. So I feel like you need to be out with people more. So whatever you're doing here in Minnesota, it's taking you away from people. You're kind of secluded. So I'm seeing you be with people more. Okay. Does that make sense? You need to get that energy back up.
Yeah, I'm a older mom. I have a kindergartner, and I'm 54. So I need to be back with my high school friends. I've made friends here, but I feel like I have more support down there.
I think you're on track. And you said August. I think you'll feel back in established, and not really until October. So just give yourself some time to get back there and get established and get comfortable and get your energy back up.
Do you have any intuition on what type of job I should pursue? Because I'm working on my resume now, and we'll be sending out that with job applications this summer for jobs in the fall.
So what I keep picking up is I'm seeing you with a lot of people. And so whether this is in administration, whether it's in reception, whether it's in service, a service of sort, but it's with people.
All right. Well, thanks, Julie. We've got lots of calls and texts, so I want to make sure we get to as many people as possible. So I respectfully ask you to just kind of keep your question and explanation brief so you can really get a great answer from Laurie. Christy, thanks for calling from Buffalo.
Yes. I have a loved one that passed away, and I'm just wondering if...
Is this a male, Christy?
It is.
Yeah. So he's saying hello. This was an unexpected passing. Do you understand that?
Right.
And you probably are feeling some warmth behind your neck right now. He's just coming behind you right now. So just take a deep breath. Sometimes they come in and want to give a hug. Just letting you know that nothing was planned. There's confusion around this, but there's nothing that was planned. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So he's okay. He's sending love. Wants you to know that he's okay.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, that's really beautiful. Thank you, Laurie, for sharing that with Christy. Diane is calling from Roseville. Hi, Diane.
Hi. My mother passed away when my twin sister and I were just a few weeks old, and I don't really know that much about her, and I just am wondering,
she's with you. I actually wrote down 6. I don't know if you were 6 weeks old. But I also think that there was a life change for you at about 6 years. The number 6 just keeps coming up around you.
Okay.
So know that even though you may have passed, or she may have passed when you were very young, she's very connected. We don't lose our mother's energy around us. They stay very much connected. So there might be times that you think about her, and just know that that's when she's most present with you. Okay. And I keep seeing the number 6. So notice if you see 6, there's magic in that number for you. Do you understand that?
Well, we may have. Are you there? Okay. Well, I'm going to go on really quickly from Pamela, Laurie, with an answer. Hi, Laurie. I'm wondering if my life will include travel and relocation when I enter retirement in a few years.
Well, Pamela, to set the stage for that now, start planning now, because we have free will that allows us to plant the seeds and move forward. So if you want to travel, start planting those seeds now, dear.
All right. So in our last 30 seconds with you, it goes by so quickly.
I know it does.
What is kind of global advice to people in CCO land as we are 2 weeks away from the summer solstice and just in general for the rest of this year?
Really be authentic in where you are in your life. So if things show up and it doesn't feel comfortable, pay attention to what's not feeling comfortable and go back to your emotions and be authentic in those actions.
Excellent advice. And again, thank you so much, callers and texters. I really tried to get to as many as I could. Please go to YourLifeCore.com and you can connect with Laurie directly. She's so fabulous. Laurie, thanks so much for coming on tonight.
Thank you so
Always
much.
great to have you.